Yeah,
Makes
probably.
you think you're further along in the week or whatever.
Yeah.
You ever wake up on
Yeah,
a
I'd rather think
Saturday?
it's Monday twice.
You ever wake up on a Saturday and think it was Friday?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Like,
I've fallen.
fuck. Oh, wait.
When I was working overnights, I fell asleep in my chair like on my days off, and I've woken up wondering if like someone was still in the queue. It's like, ah, fuck, and it still happens once in a while. I'm just like, where am I? What job am I working?
I have to actually go to an office again. I gotta learn how to take
Gross.
the train.
Gross.
I have to pay to park my car because I can't drive my car to work. So I gotta take my car to the train station and then take the train. It's the worst of both worlds. I gotta drive in traffic and then be in a crowded ass train. I ain't ready. But I'll probably listen to
Where are you
podcasts
gonna
again.
park?
Wallaston, unless I can park at your house.
I don't think so. You need like a thing.
What thing? There's no
No
Quincy's.
parking pass.
There's no parking pass, Quincy.
Yeah, there's stickers or something.
The fuck? When did that happen?
I don't know. There's like Rachel got a ticket a while back until she
Money grubbing Quincy.
yeah.
So
You
stupid.
have to go to like the town hall or something like that.
I mean, I do live here. I can probably get one.
Candy's fucking expensive now. Arizona iced teas are probably not 99 cents if you go to a wrong store.
No, they've been $1.98 for a couple of months now.
Not here.
Yeah, what the
Here,
fuck?
I've seen places actually take a Sharpie and block off where it says 99 cents that's printed on the can, and they write like $1.50 under it. I've seen that
That's fucking
happen.
awful.
Yeah,
What a
Yeah,
group
that's
of
horseshit.
douchebags.
yeah. But yeah, I think Arizona's still like a buck 20 here. It's not that bad.
So like the local Walmart when I worked up here used to do shady shit like that because there's like the store called Rennie's, and it's like a mom and pop, like not like mom and pop, they're a retail chain more of like a Bradley's or a like a Woolworth if they're still around. And they would go in and check what items they had in the store, and whatever was cheaper, they'd go buy the entire stock of Rennie's and then go stock them at Walmart.
Walmarts can't do that. It's a corporate store. That's not protocol.
I'm like, do you like your job that much? You're like, okay, Steve, we're gonna go over 4 blocks.
Exactly.
I'm
What,
like,
what
well,
do you care?
Like you also supported their store by buying out their stock.
I remember when I was working Domino's, we ran out of like 2 liters of Coke or something. So my boss had me go to the Stop and Shop that was having a sale on them, and I bought like 40 bottles of Pepsi or Coke, whatever the fuck it was. That was a good day.
That's really funny.
I was a delivery driver, so I got paid like less than minimum wage to go shopping. It was great.
You know where you could probably park? Over by Quincy Adams.
Quincy Adams. I'm not putting my car in Point. You crazy?
Or like over by Crown Colony.
I'd rather just like buy that
Crown
parking
Colony's not
pass
bad.
and
That
park in
place
front of
is,
your
like,
house.
empty.
Yeah, it would be kind of cool.
Just let me park in your driveway.
Nope.
Don't be a bitch.
Nope.
Tory's gonna make his own parking pass.
I mean, it used to be
No,
my
my
driveway.
the downstairs neighbors use that.
Well, he can go fuck himself. All right, you go down there. You say, "Hey, my buddy Thomas says, go fuck yourself. He wants to park in the driveway."
Maybe during the summer when I'm actually going out and stuff.
I don't know. What if you don't? I mean, I could pay. It's not that bad. You can't buy a monthly pass in Wollaston, but you can buy a monthly pass in North Quincy. And it's
weird.
like, what was it?
That's weird.
$5 a day or something. Something along those lines. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I figured I'd just drive back to the train yard where I used to work and just walk to Cell Station from the employee lot because I don't think anybody checks those spots until the time when they do. And it's trained people. We don't get the police involved. There'll be a lot of smashed windows and probably slit tires.
Yeah.
So
I was saying, get a mini house to live under the bridge.
I mean, it could be bogging it.
Fucking awesome.
All right, should we get this this horseradish on the roll?
Yeah, radishes.
All right. Hello and welcome to episode 45 of Digital Deliberations, the one and only. There has been no other episode 45. This is the first take, and this is the take we will use.
It's the last take. The only take.
Exactly. How you all doing? What's going on?
Oh, I just dropped my phone. That'll sue.
That's cool.
Otherwise, I'm good. Yeah.
Got that new Pixel and you're dropping it.
No, I got a really cool case on it. Fucking cool phone.
All right, so we got the Brett's here.
Yeah, what's up?
We got the Tory.
Yeah, what's going on?
Sounds like a insider in your British gang, the Tory. Like,
Yeah, the Tory.
My boy's a Taurus, eh? We got
No,
I'm
Cavell.
here
Tories
on,
are,
I'm here to
uh,
collect
they're
shit on
the-
the Peaky Blinders.
You know,
They're cons-
Tory's a historical party.
yeah, they're a
local party.
conservative. They're a conservative party.
Ew.
in
I knew it was
British
something.
government.
I just didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And
They were the ones that they were
Bojo's a Tory.
traitors during the American Revolution.
instead of setting up 4 V-tubes, I just had... This is all my idea. This wasn't what he was already doing. I totally told Cavell to start playing a game, and I'll just talk over it. No, that was the plan from the start.
100%.
100%.
Yeah, it's what's today? The 7th of March.
Yeah.
We were all sitting there talking the other day. We're like, you know what? We shouldn't VTube. We're just gonna have Curves play this game.
I mean, I'm still
Yeah.
my beautiful self on the streets of Japan here. Always checking out the snack shop next to me.
Nice.
Yeah, waiting for the bus over on this side. Yeah.
My guy's base was hacked, and I'm under FBI siege, so I'm waiting until it's safe to come out.
There is on the Oculus store, or I guess they call it the Meta store, they have the Anne Frank VR experience, and I want to know what that is and why it's on the Oculus store.
Dear Jesus,
That's
that sounds
bizarre.
terrifying.
What is this?
Is that unbelievable? Because Fortnite did the Martin Luther King Day thing last year. We went and did went to Washington and walked through the Martin Luther King Day experience.
You know, I still haven't checked out that MLK statue they put in the comment.
I haven't been there. Yeah,
I drove
that was
by,
months ago too.
but it's not in view of driving down the that one-way street you take to get to the highway. Tries to buy in front of all those bars and stuff. I did not see it from that particular angle, so I'm not gonna get out of my car. You try parking around the common, it's fucking crazy.
Fremont Street.
It's fucking cold.
It is cold. I know whatever the street is that has the bars and the Boloco.
No, you can park between the
The two
common
parks.
and
Yeah, the 2 parks is the best place to park,
yeah.
but I have places to be.
Yeah.
Home. Who's crankling? Stop crankling.
I'm sorry.
This is professional
Can't help myself.
podcasting.
At least it's free. I wouldn't. That'd be weird to pay money for that.
Oh, the statue?
You could be
The
doing
Anne
eating
Frank is free.
ASMR.
Oh, is it free? Okay.
Yeah.
What do you have it? Do you run through it?
Nah, I'm super interested though.
I think
What is
they
it,
did
YouTube?
the Fortnite thing because kids don't be learning things in school.
No.
So the only way to teach kids things now is through video games.
Kids learn how to harass their teachers and record it for TikTok. That's a valuable lesson to learn.
Yeah.
Kids like to rip off stores by stealing by writing down their orders incorrectly and picking up free food from places now, which is life hacks. Which
Every
is just straight
one
up
of those
crap.
I've heard mentioned was the stupidest thing that would never work. I don't understand why people do these things.
I don't get it either.
Yo, I want a bag, and if you could put a sandwich in the bag for me, I'd appreciate it.
No.
Life hacks. All right. What's in the news? I'm trying to recall what happened. Yuji Naka admitted he pled guilty of insider trading.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I did it.
Who is that?
He's the guy who quote unquote made Sonic, but he didn't really make Sonic, but he was the programmer for Sonic, and then he went on to make the Sonic team. They made Nights into Dreams. They made Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg.
Those were interesting game. Dreams are fun.
He made another company called Probe, and he made a game called Let's Tap. That was a Wii game. He did some other games that I cannot recall what the name of them were. Then he made a game called Balan Wonderland,
Oh yeah.
and that's when he was
Good
working
old
for
Balan
Square.
Wonderland.
And while he was not making a good video game, he was had his ear to the wall, listening on the new plans, and took some hot stock tips based on him knowing things that were coming out.
You're like, what? Why should I not benefit from this money that I know will be coming in?
Hell yeah, I don't blame him. Insider trade, bro. Do it up.
Just
Just don't get caught
gonna
next
get
time.
jail time for that.
I think it was fines. I don't know what the actual sentencing was.
Bill Mickelson, the pro golfer, got caught inside trading bleach, and I thought that was the whitest thing I've ever heard.
That's pretty good.
A pro golfer inside trading Clorox. I'm like, what the actual fuck? You can't write a whiter line than that.
I'm gonna take off this. Is it this one? Yeah, I'm gonna take this off for a second. I'm going to open my web browser, then move it to my audio monitor so I can read it. There we go. Look at that. I can read it.
What are you gonna read on that monitor, Tom?
I have news stories that I had up.
Whoa, whoa! Are you telling me it's news time?
We were talking about the news. Let's talk about the Yuji Knox. The head of Square Enix is stepping down. He's being replaced.
Oh, that was the NFT guy, right?
Yeah, he was the NFT guy, but I mean, I'm sure whoever Square puts in charge is going to be worse. This guy isn't making us enough money. We need more money. So get rid of him and put this new guy up. I don't have faith.
The thing is, it's like, Square is some of the most ass-backwards, like, what's considered successful now, because, like, Tomb Raider, unsuccessful, it was, like, largely successful. All these games, like, are decently successful. Like, you know what? Not the money we wanted for America. I feel like they just want the United States wants to fail. I don't know.
Their developers weren't even American.
Pretty crazy.
Crystal Dynamics, I think, might be American, but a lot of the companies are based in Europe and stuff.
Well, Crystal Dynamics isn't under Square.
Well, I just feel like they're just like
Exactly.
If you go look
They sold all their shit to fund their NFT gains. I say gains in a very light sense. He was cited as being like they quote him as quote unquote the guy responsible for NFTs, canceled live service games, and Forspoken. And I was like, why do you wrap Forspoken in with the rest of that? That was a perfectly fine video game. What are you talking about? The studio who developed Forspoken is being absolved into the greater Square Enix development group. It was Luminous Studios, and they were considered independent, but now they are with the core Final Fantasy team moving forward. So it's not
they said you didn't do good enough, guys.
I know. Final Fantasy 16 better be good. Like it can't not be at this point.
Else.
It's just the other team made shitty games, in my opinion. So this is their track record. At Final Fantasy,
Did you try Forspoken?
Yeah, I have it. It's good. I like it. It's not great, but it's perfectly acceptable.
That's okay. The problem, though, I think we discussed this when we initially discussed that game, is like it's almost worse to make a mid game these days. Because if you make a mid game, people are gonna roast it harder.
Better than average.
Just bad, where like it gets no traction.
I mean, that's fine.
That's what's happening.
That's not my problem.
No, I'm just saying. Like in the industry, if you make a mid-tier game, it's almost worse than if you made a bad game. I don't think that's good or right or how it should be.
Maybe in like terms of mainstream media coverage, but there's a lot of games that have been like chugging along behind the scenes for absolute years, and you just hear about like, oh, people are still playing. I don't know, give me a fucking game. I had one the other day.
Dead Cells.
Yeah, Dead Cells, but
Dead Cells is a good game though.
Like that game, Hunt Showdown. And
OG RuneScape.
OG RuneScape and Payday 2. Like these games nobody talks about, but are like majorly successful.
Okay, yeah. I would say that RuneScape has a huge cult following. Like RuneScape has been big forever.
You know,
like within its own community.
Because I think EverQuest is still even fucking going.
Yeah, people still play EverQuest.
Tory knows all about RuneScape, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know at least one person that
social osmosis on that game.
I still watch RuneScape Let's Play stuff every now and then when people do like crazy Iron Man challenges and stuff.
A dude on my team the other day asked me if I played RuneScape, and I had to act like I wanted to.
Like, oh yeah, man, that's the game to be.
Some fucking RuneScape, man. Yeah, I'm down.
There's there's like challenges in RuneScape I think are like fun and cool, like the Tile Man challenge.
I'd probably try it.
I don't have time for that kind of shit. You know what Tile Man is?
No.
So you know how RuneScape is tile based, right? Everything is on a tile.
Yeah.
With Tile Man, you have to earn your tiles by earning experience points. Excuse me.
Oh, that's kind of crazy.
What is a tile?
So a tile is like if you're looking at the world from the top down.
Okay.
It's in tiles.
Okay,
right?
so it's like a grid based.
Every unit, yeah. the game is tile based,
Okay.
right? So you use like an add-on, I think. But
Hacking.
you're
Get them banned.
like you have to earn tiles by earning experience. Like every so many levels, you can buy so many tiles and move that many more tiles in the world of RuneScape. So like it's a really cool challenge, but like, dude, I do not have the time for the kind of grind that sort of thing is, where you're literally just like standing in like one place, grinding one thing, and you can't even move to another tile because you haven't grinded hard enough yet. It's a cool concept for a challenge. Sounds like a nightmare to actually play.
Yeah, I'm also
It
in
does.
that. All right, moving on. Nintendo took down Mario Kart 8 and Splatoon on the original Wii U system due to a hack that's out there that lets the person using the hack take control of anybody's who's in the same room as him, game room. They can take control of their console.
Ooh.
Yeah, I
think
heard
that's
about that, but I
amazing.
didn't know the reason for it.
Yeah.
That's messed up.
I love that shit.
And I was saying before that I still, because I have the Wii U emulator, and if you have the Wii U emulator, you can pull your credentials off of your Wii console and move them over to the emulator, and it acts like it's the official credentials for the Wii online service, so you can play games online with it. And I still occasionally boot that up and play Splatoon 1. I like Splatoon 1 a lot. And it's a shame. I hope they put it back up. Like, I hope they patch it and replace it, not just keep it down. I'm not sure Nintendo wants to just take it down and leave it down, but it's...
I was gonna say they'd probably
Yeah,
just
shame.
take it down, and leave it down at this point.
Yeah,
because
I thought they took him down because the life cycle was ended.
Yeah, they took down the
not
store too.
yet.
That's in like 2 weeks.
The store's gone, I think, too already.
You can't
I also
buy
heard
anything.
there's a bug for Wii U's that like if you leave them, if you don't use them for a long enough period of time, they just brick.
Yeah, I heard about that. I haven't looked into that news story, which I probably should
Wait,
have.
what?
Yeah, it's something to do
Yeah,
with
if
if you
you-
leave it off so long, like the capacitor dies, and if the capacitor isn't on, you just can't boot the system again.
Oh, fucking weird.
Yeah,
that was
so
a thing
I
with
pulled mine out today and tried booting it up just to make sure.
I can
Talk
get
about
mine.
legit life cycle.
Yeah, I have mine. I should probably boot it up. I haven't booted it up in years. That's worrying. I like the Wii U. It's not a bad little hardware.
No, it's
No.
cool. You can do all the hacks for the Wii that you could do for the original Wii.
Well, there's special
And then-
versions that work on the virtual Wii inside the Wii U, but yeah.
Yeah. So you can straight up download Wii games and play Wii games on it and everything.
GameCube as well.
Yeah, it's good. It's a
Wink,
great system
wink.
if like you intend to use it as an emulation.
Did you do
Thing.
Dreamcast on it?
I mean, probably. It could probably handle Dreamcast. I don't know if there's an emulator on there. I mean, possibly. It's just when you say like, can you do this? Can you do this? You can just get a fucking
Wink.
Yeah, you do it
$100
elsewhere.
PC and just use that. It's
Yeah, exactly.
but with the
You can make it though. It's pretty easy. You can play GameCube games on the little pad. So it's
Yeah.
like a handheld GameCube console. That's what you want to use it for.
You ever hear this thing called a Steam Deck?
I haven't.
Oh, you should look into it, man. It's a little computer. Computes.
I wish I could have bought a Steam Deck.
You had
Yeah.
a chance, buddy.
You made
I don't
made your own mistakes.
No,
I appreciate your sacrifice.
I do.
This is the story I was reading while Brett disconnected last time, and I was just talking to myself about it for like 5 minutes, and I gave up. It's this RPG publisher, Paizo. They have banned AI generated content, and they want to support human art.
Yo, I'm totally here for that. Personally.
Yeah, I do. I can see some things being auto generated, like some like background tiles that are just like filling in space, but like actual art should all be, commissioned and
I
something
agree.
like don't make your game a static void of creativity.
Well,
and
and like
artists need
the
to be
AI
paid.
arts like have stolen their skills from artists. You know what I mean?
Just like
they
these,
didn't.
just like these machines are still in the man's job.
Yeah, but like the machine has no intrinsic creativity.
Correct.
You can feed it things that already exist, and it can regurgitate them into something new. I use the term loosely, but it can't actually like create a new character. You know?
Yes.
I don't know.
I mean, kind
And
of,
they don't-
sort of, but
Kind of, but not really. I don't know. Look,
Yeah. My
I just
my podcast art is AI generated because I cannot draw. That's
yeah, I think AI art it can be useful as a tool. Like I think there's a place for it, sure, but I don't think it needs to be like a major thing in games art. I think that's probably a bad move.
to all you listeners out there. I will commission cover art for my podcast and get that human touch. Although I really like mine.
Find me on Twitter at the OCD Gamer. I also would buy art for the channel.
You gotta stop calling yourself gamer, and you gotta stop using weed references.
OCD? That's not anything to do with weed.
I said gamer. Use the word gamer.
Yeah, I can get rid of that. That's easy shit.
I was looking at because you're on my my Switch online plan. I was like, who the fuck is like the renegade weeder, or the fuck that name was? Like, it's obviously Brett. What am I even asking? It's obvious.
Yeah, it's like bongs. Yeah, that was funny trying to explain to Nintendo what my name was. What was it? Oh my god, Hempnight 420. And they're like, can you give me that name? I'm like, yeah, it's fine.
What the hell we talking about for 40 minutes last time? I'm already out of news stories. I mean, I had more, but I don't know what I do with them.
I don't know. This is the first time I've had this podcast this week, Tom.
It's true. It's true. Let's see. What else did I talk about? I talked about something. It's only been like, what, 20 minutes? 21 minutes. We ain't rambling about nothing. Tory, give me some hot takes here.
Damn. What about, did you guys talk about that Atomic Heart game?
Kind of, sort of. I just said I was going to uninstall it because it's not worth the implied negativity with it. It's not worth the risk of actually helping fund that.
Yeah, it actually funds the war.
Yeah.
Does it?
Well,
yeah.
Ukraine says it does, and that's enough for me to say, you know what, I don't need to play this. It's okay.
My backlog's big enough to know that I don't need to have blood on my hands.
Exactly. And I heard it's pretty cringy in dialogue too.
I've seen
the dialogue
of it.
Yeah,
the audio is real bad.
Yeah. You guys ever play the game Sacred 3?
No.
It's like a Diablo-like clone. Sacred 1 and 2 are more straightforward, old-style, top-down RPGs, but Sacred 3 is like super hyper Diablo-like clone, but they had the writers, not literally, but like the quality team of people who did Borderlands 2, where they say the stupidest shit. It doesn't fit at all. It's like this fantasy, medievally, angel-y kind of game, and they just make these terrible, terrible jokes the entire game, and it's so off-putting. How did this get greenlit? I have no idea.
Is it on Steam, Sacred 3?
Yeah, it's on Steam. It's an older game. Like it was of the year, like 2012, 2011.
It's got mostly negative on Steam.
Dude, you should listen to some of the dialogue. I was playing it, and like, why is it like this? This doesn't make any sense. It doesn't contextually fit with this type of game. Like, that's what she said jokes and stuff. It just makes no sense.
Oh, gross. Yeah.
It's awful.
They kind of said that's how some of the Atomic Hearts is. They'll show something really fucked up where people will be like bleeding from the walls, and your character will be like, "Oh, what the fuck was that mess? Who's gonna clean that up?" You're like, "Oh."
Heard your character wants to fuck a fridge or something.
Or
it's weird.
Yeah.
I'm all set. I can easily not play that game and sleep at night.
I heard those say. I heard like Fridge tried to fuck me, would fuck Fridge again. And I was like, and I'm uninstalling it.
Yeah. It makes my choices easier.
Direction was that good though. Like I didn't think it was.
It looked like a mix between BioShock Infinite and what was that Obsidian Fallout game? Outer Worlds?
Oh, Outer Worlds. Yeah, it seemed like they were trying to make Outer Wilds.
Now, Wilds is the trippy
then it's Outer
world-ending game. Yeah.
It seemed like they were just going, like, after seeing the reviews and shit, it seems like they were trying to make, like, a witty BioShock. I'm like, we don't need a witty BioShock.
Is it BioShock already witty?
Oh, whoa! Let's make racism fun! It's like, no, guys.
I liked BioShock Infinite. That was a fun
game. I love
game.
BioShock Infinite. That game's fucking awesome.
I just played it. It's awesome.
You could play the DLC, right?
Collection.
I played the DLC too. That the DLC for that game is like
DLC is better than the base game, in my opinion.
it really is. It's
I
top
need to
tier.
play the DLC.
It's really good. It made the game for me. Like the original, the standalone Infinite's fine. I liked it, but like the DLC is the shining part of that game.
I just love the pacing of that game. Like all around, I thought the pacing was pretty fucking awesome.
Here's a hot
Got
take.
your, like,
the Minish Cap is still the best looking 2D Zelda game. I don't know if I agree with that.
Gross. No. Link to the Past.
I mean, Link to the Past is very iconic looking. It's very clean. Minish Cap has that fuzzy GBA look, and it has like that pseudo Wind Waker-ness to it, where it looks kind of
Link
off.
Between Worlds even looks great.
It's
not 2D.
Yeah, it's not technically 2D, but it's still like the 2D style of game. I don't know. I think Link's Awakening looks great. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's a hot take. Minish Cap is not the best looking Zelda.
Yeah.
People.
Worlds isn't 2D.
No,
it's
it was
technically.
It's a 3D rendered game. It has a traditional Zelda
I get what you're
viewpoint.
saying,
Yeah. But it's not sprites, is what I'm getting at.
I love Sprite, but
Yeah, if we're talking like sprite-based Zeldas, yeah, I still think that Link to the Past and Link's Awakening both look great. And I mean, Ages and Seasons,
those are fun.
No, they're fun, but they don't look great.
No,
Yeah,
they
I'll
don't
finish that
hold
game.
up.
Have you guys watched the I know Tom has the president's the voiceover thing?
Yeah,
fake.
My problem with those videos is that they say like stupid meme humor as opposed to just sounding like the way the presidents would talk. I think it would be funnier. It's he's talking about the deep fakes where it has like Joe Biden, Trump, and Obama talking about stupid shit like the Zelda tier list or something.
Yeah.
But
When I first saw these AI voices, like it was like Joe Rogan and Ben Shapiro and the president all talking about weird shit. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of funny. Like these AI voices have gone like just far enough, right? Like the joke is here and it's still kind of funny. And pretty soon it's gonna get old, and then pretty soon after that, people are gonna start getting like nefarious with it.
I'm sure they already have.
Like,
I'm sure people have gotten fired already over this.
Yeah.
Like,
well, just be glad you're not a famous person, you know.
Just wait until like fucking Amazon gets hacked or Google gets hacked.
Wait until our podcast blows up and we can't walk down the fucking street anymore, boyos.
Yeah, no.
Well, it's not even that. It's just they're gonna have hours and hours of our voices and just being able to make us say anything.
It's gonna be raining bitches like K-pops.
Jokes on them. I already say anything.
Yep.
Stupid flowers.
No, it's got canceled by the one person listening that night. We know them.
Dime me out.
All caps, Thomas.
Yeah, well, I think those videos would be funnier if they talked more, presidential and official as opposed to just saying stupid meme things.
Yeah, well, here's the thing: is they're being written by like 13-year-olds.
Exactly, that's the problem.
Like, you get somebody who actually like intends to do nefarious things and is, capable of writing a good script for one of those, and you could have some fun.
That's why I like the small town murder podcasts and stuff like that. They're just like, someone's gonna solo out what I just said. Please don't do that.
This is out of context.
This is out of context. They're like, Jimmy, say it also, so that way I'm not the only one who's going down for this. He's like, no, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it because someone's going to take it out of context.
You can listen to their live show on
420? Get it. Oh, 100%.
Yeah, seems to be a thing you'd enjoy.
That looks great. Why not?
Yeah. The other thing we talked about, and I forgot, was Microsoft won. Microsoft subpoenaed Sony for certain documents and information, and what ended up happening was that Sony lost almost all of the legal term for it when they tried to fight back and deny it. They lost all of their claims except two.
Appeals?
Yes, appeals. One was they got reduced to only being able to go back to 2019, and the other one was what was the other one? Request to withhold employee performance reviews and evaluations. Otherwise, they have, so now Microsoft can get all their documents from the past 3 or 4 years saying their plans for exclusivities and all this other stuff. stuff from their lawyers, stuff from their all that kind of shit. And Sony said, why would they even want this stuff? It's in Japanese.
Yeah.
Why would they want these documents? And Microsoft, I'm pretty sure they have a Japanese division, and I'm sure they can afford a translator.
Yeah, it's a text document, man.
Yeah,
it's way easier to translate a text document.
There's some intern going, fuck, I'm going to have to go translate this 300-page Google Doc now. Thanks.
Yeah, so pretty much this is going to pass. And
why the fuck do they care about all these exclusivities, though? Isn't that like corporate business mumbo jumbo where they're not supposed to release that shit anyway?
Sony is trying to block the deal with Microsoft buying Activision because they're saying it's an unfair advantage, and how they're going to make everything exclusive for their system is not fair for the consumers. And they're like, look, you're fucking Sony. What are you talking about?
You're talking about the guys who did the fucking memory stick are talking about exclusivity, who anytime you bought a Sony camera or like the PSP had, they also used the memory. Fuck off, Sony. No one's feeling bad for Sony.
Not to mention all their...
Well, that's one of the things I heard about that.
Would you steal a car?
Like The Last of Us was the most popular show. It's like Sony's doing just fine.
Yeah, Sony's doing pretty good. They have the exclusivity to both Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil 8 VR, which is bullshit.
They have enough to fucking make a failed VR system and just be like, well, that was a failure, and not go under.
They specifically made sure that they could not get Final Fantasy VII Remake on Xbox. That was revealed.
Sony Entertainment owns Mortal Kombat, don't they?
No, that's Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not exclusive.
Yeah. Just
that's how they get all the cool movie characters.
They're playing with some, they're playing on some thin ice.
They're just playing with some fucking petty ass shit.
Throwing some stones from their glass house, or however you want to phrase it.
Oh my God, it's
what do you think's the most what do you think the biggest thing about that would be? That EA has to offer? Is it Call of Duty?
Activision, yeah. Well, right now all they really do is make Activision. I mean, Activision, the only thing they really do is make Call of Duty games. They kind of put everything, even when that Tony Hawk thing did like a big gangbusters, they still canceled development on the 3-4 remake and said, you're going to work Call of Duty. So that's all they give a fuck about.
I think Sony would also want it because since they do still have MMOs and stuff like that, they could be like, look, we're taking your fucking WoW engineers and we're going to put them on the fucking Final Fantasy team for a while. Why do you guys still have why are you guys in the green every month? Even though World of Warcraft is like not good, every person I know from like old jobs and stuff are like, this is the best expansion yet. Oh my God, I'm coming back. I'm like, not me, but I'm like, I think that alone, by having a studio that has a working MMO who is actively making money off it every fucking month, that's pretty good to have in the back pocket.
Indeed. I don't know.
Not that Final Fantasy's struggling either, though. They have like a fucking savage group of fans who are always willing to just like keep that going.
How's that?
Because they're just like, we need to beat what because of the online version. They're like, we've got to beat. They've always had that thing where it's just like, well, we're not WoW, so we've got to beat them.
I just don't understand how that fits into the scenario of Microsoft and Activision.
Because they'd be going to Sony if Sony wanted to. Sony
doesn't own Final Fantasy. What are you talking about? That's Square Enix. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's Square Enix, yeah. Because they're on PlayStation. Duh.
Yeah. The Final Fantasy 11 was on 360, but Final Fantasy 14 is not on Xbox One, which is interesting. I'm sure that is also related to Sony being Sony.
What about Final Fantasy 15?
15 was on both systems.
Okay.
Yeah. 7 Remake was not, but Final Fantasy 7 Crisis Core is on Xbox. So it's very strange on which games do and do not come to Xbox.
Was the remastered version of Final Fantasy 7 ever on Xbox?
Yes, you can get Final Fantasy 7, not Remake, on Xbox. You
Xbox?
Cannot get Final Fantasy 7 Remake on Xbox. And Sony had some money in the development of that.
You want to hear about something dumb I did in terms of?
I always want to hear something stupid you did.
I bought on eBay. I bought like the disc for the Rare replay.
Oh yeah.
Because I wanted to play GoldenEye, but apparently like just having the disc doesn't actually let you play GoldenEye. You had to buy the digital version.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I was so pissed.
Because I own the disc of that. But I think it's on Game Pass, so I don't think it matters.
Yeah, well, it doesn't give you GoldenEye.
I heard if you had Rare Replay, it gives you GoldenEye.
You have to have the digital version. You had to bought it.
I would have said I would attempt to try this, but I do not own. My Xbox has Game Pass. I'll have it anyway. So
you'll have it.
It's not a good counterpoint. So yeah, I mean I've already had it on the 360 leaked version anyway. Get with the times, kids. You and your 40-year-old game. I was playing GoldenEye the other day. It's still not a great game. It's still not great.
Yeah.
Does it feel better on 2 sticks?
Yes. Immensely better on 2 sticks, I can assure you.
I was gonna say that was probably like the one thing that I'm like, but almost in some sense that it almost ruined the game because that was what like made it GoldenEye was playing with 1 stick badly.
I'm pretty sure you could have used 2 sticks if you plugged in controllers into 1 and 3 and like dual wielded N64 controllers. You can do it with GoldenEye, and you can do it Perfect Dark and Pod Racing. I'm pretty sure the 3 games that support that stupid
weird.
Yeah.
Pod Racing makes sense, but still fucking weird.
Yeah.
I was looking on Twitter, and I was looking at weird accessories, and I saw that PS2 train controller, so that way you could play Train Simulator.
Every system has that. There's one on the Switch. Then should they go?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's like a train base where it has the throttle and the brake.
I think the switching between...
You guys never drove a train before?
No.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm the only one here who knows how to drive a train.
Maybe I need to go buy a PS2 and Train Simulator.
I mean, I've never played Train Simulator. I just had a drunk dad and access to a train.
Drunk dad, access to a train and a dream.
Exactly.
Here comes running down the tracks train, man.
One of my dad
I watched Over the Top the other night. That movie holds
that movie's great. It's so stupid.
What's Over the Top?
It's the Sylvester Stallone arm wrestling movie where he's a trucker hanging out with his fucking kid.
And he picks up his kid after 10 years. He's like, sir, can you tell me why after 10 years of not hanging out with me, you feel like going across country with me in 3 days is going to make up for it?
Because your dad's a professional arm wrestler's son.
Yep, and he tells me, he's like, gotta go over the top, kid. I'm like, oh, this movie's great. And then the end song has just like, you're the wind, you gotta go over the top. I'm like, yes, fucking A+ when you can even include the fucking name in the end credits.
I didn't know about it until like a few weeks ago, and I watched the ending. I'm like, this is something else.
It really is. It really is. There's a Dexter's Lab episode that parodies it.
That's some good shit.
Where they go and they stop at like a roadside diner and like they get
it's
like an
so
arm wrestling thing, and Dexter builds his dad a big robot arm.
Let me tell you, I beat you 2 out of 3. What is this kid, a girl?
Like, go over here, gotta get the arm.
Just go over top. You gotta think you can beat this person. They're just gonna put their hands on a mat.
That is the worst Sylvester Stallone I've ever heard.
Isn't the competition that they have, isn't it like single elimination even in the finals?
Double elimination.
Is double elimination? Yeah, like he loses and still manages to win.
My favorite part of that movie is like the last 4 people. It's just like Mad Dog McGriff from Montouche, Canada. Oh, the bad dog.
That's how the real McCoy got to start. Traveling around arm wrestling. Other news stories we have, the play testing group of Apex Legends got shut down.
Yeah.
Baton Rouge office.
People laid off via Zoom.
Apex Legends is a video game we used to play until you kept using the Asian guy who pulled out his drone and made the game to a fucking snail pace, and we said, fuck this game, stop playing it. What's that?
Should we play Apex again?
I don't know, I'm bad at it.
Me too.
I used to be good at it, and all the Zoomers caught up, and I am now just the old man and can't keep up.
You're so fast.
I shoot people, and they don't go down, and I get shot twice, and I'm down. It's like, I don't know how the fuck... I don't understand what I'm doing wrong in that game. I can't be asked to figure it out.
Streamers and like, watch this asshole, and then he kills a bunch of people. I'm like, what the fuck?
I'd rather just play my boomer ass Siege.
They didn't add any levels or anything in a long time.
Last I played, they were all new levels, but then again, I haven't played between like a year in between those 2 times.
Oh, okay.
But those 2 levels, I didn't like them. They weren't good. There's a lot of like verticality, like different platforms and big open spaces. It's not like interestingly designed. It's just different sections of big open field, and it's not for me.
Remember when we found that like exploit, if you will?
Oh yeah, we get stuck in the tower. Yeah. Tory found a way to use the ultimate of Valkyrie, where you get stuck below a part of a level, so you can't get hurt, but they also you can't hurt them. So unless the circles are on your side, you've died out of the circle. You can't leave.
People chasing you, thinking you're stuck. They're like, "Where is this asshole?"
Yeah, yeah. Because you can set things off and mark them and stuff, but they can't actually hit you. It's funny.
If they know you're there, you freak them out. They get really weird.
Where is it, man?
Because I kept doing Bloodhound's thing where you could like track people, but it shows where you are, so they kept running around us. They're like, what the fuck?
It's funny. Good times had. Yeah, I don't know much about the information other than it was like I think a playtest group or something.
Yeah.
Like quality assurance for Apex and Baton Rouge. That game, to my understanding, is still doing like a killing.
Is it?
Makes sense.
I'll probably download it again. It's a good game to play. Like, well, you're not.
I just play Fortnite. It's just easier because people will play Fortnite with me, and people will not play Apex with me.
Yep.
In Siege, the other game I'll play.
Apex is a little bit more competitive than.
Yeah, exactly.
Fortnite.
And people I play Fortnite with will not play Apex. It's not their speed. So I'd rather play a game with friends than play a try-hard game by myself.
Or if like I'm like the games that like because if you die in Fortnite, it just queues you up within like a fucking minute and a half. I hated like PUBG. It's like, okay, I got a good setup. Oh, I'm dead. All right, go back to the lobby.
That was a problem I had with. Sorry to interrupt you, but
no,
the Call of Duty game, the online one.
Yeah,
that's another one where you just get dropped in a second. You open a door and then you just get like murked from like a guy's hanging on the stairs below you or some shit. Happens all the time.
So many chances to come back though. Your teammates can buy you back. Like you.
I haven't played it since it launched. I'm sure they added some shit.
I feel like all these games are just full of kids who have a lot of time to play, and I just can't keep up.
John Oliver made that joke on last week's episode. It's very funny.
Well, it's an amazing time we live in because all of those games are free. Like the best games to ever play are free, and like all you need to do is have your parents buy you like a console. Can you imagine? Like that was not how it was. Like,
oh god no. Oh god no.
No.
You could buy a game and it would suck, and that would be it. You would just be stuck with a shitty game.
Yeah.
You hoped it was good, and then like Christmas, you're like, well, I'm gonna play it because it's fucking Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has that game their grandmother bought them that they still had because it was the game their grandmother bought them, and it was terrible.
X-Men Marvel versus Arcade.
You just keep playing Zoop for a Super Nintendo.
It's okay.
Zoop. Like Zoop and Clax, the two games everybody had and nobody liked. And columns, add columns to that. Nobody had balls though. I know one person who had balls. That was it.
I thought the Rocco's Bar Life game was pretty fucking bad.
I'm sure it was. I don't remember it though.
You had to take Splunky and like fucking basically it was like Lemmings but really bad controls.
So it's Krusty's Funhouse?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Apparently they're making a Pokemon stop animation series on Netflix.
Oh?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's interesting. I like to see him do interesting things with stuff. That's fun.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I'll watch a stop animation Pokemon show. Why not? Was that new Sonic show any good that came out on Netflix?
Gabe likes it.
I haven't seen it.
Gabe's on a Sonic phase right now.
Yeah, get him out of it before he's like, 13. You want him to be popular at school, right?
Gotta get like.
You don't want to send him down that dark path.
No, he won't be wearing sweatpants.
Here's my original character.
No. Pokemon card and you do not tell anyone.
Yeah, Pokemon cards can get you through high school.
Yeah, I know.
Sonic will not.
No.
If you are the kid with the Sonic backpack past like 3rd grade, you will get your ass kicked. God willing, you'll get your ass kicked.
God.
I encourage it.
But before that, though, you'll be,
Yeah, you rain in the puss.
Yep. I'm never gonna let my kids grow up in Maine.
Why?
Based on what you just said.
Oh, what? D-Money and Smooth?
Exactly. I don't know anything else going on in the news. Anybody have any?
Season finale of Last of Us Sunday.
Okay, so this week's episode, I'm not gonna spoil anything that happens, but I think the very end spoiled the entire episode for me a bit. Where it was, there is a semi-suggested theme in the game, and there's one heavily implied by pretty much showing it in the show, and they did not need to do it, and I think it cheapened the entire thing.
Did you rewatch the scene from the game afterwards?
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay.
It is not in there.
It's only implied a little bit if it's the part we're talking about. He went like fucking batshit at the end of that part. Yeah.
A belt was being unbuckled, is all I'm saying. And that did not need to happen.
Nope.
Yeah, not a fan of that.
Like, I'm
a little
good.
bit subtlety, I think would have been better.
Yeah, it was subtle in the game. That's the thing. They did it better there.
There's a lot of things that are more subtle in the game, which is weird, right? You wouldn't.
I thought they had they implied it all the way into that fucking scene. Like at that point, I'm like, okay, we get it. He's kind of attracted to her, and then it was just like, come on, okay, now you're just driving the point home to make everyone uncomfortable.
Yeah,
it was weird. It was like in the building that was on fire and everything.
Also, not the time. I mean, it's never the time, but it's especially not the time.
He was implying it. Oh, I want her to be with me, and then I'm like, okay, cool. And then I was just like, I think I ended up fast forwarding through that part. I'm like, okay, don't need this.
It was funny how both the Tommy and Joel's characters were the henchmen of the main bad guy who both got murdered.
Yes,
I thought that was funny. Wonder what Ellie's gonna be.
Her she's in the next episode.
Oh, is she? Is she going to be Abby?
She plays her mom.
Whose mom?
Ellie's mom. I don't know in a flashback or what, but I
don't think we ever saw Ellie's mom in the game.
Time. Yeah, I know.
Okay, interesting.
I'm looking forward to it just because I thought that was one of the best episodes of the season.
Until one?
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
I'll take this name badge off, even though we're 40 minutes into the episode. People know who I am.
Minus the like you had said, the part that went a little bit too far. I thought like the whole build up, how the thing I like about that show is they cover so much space in like an hour and 10 or whatever they get, that it feels like you're getting. I don't know. I always feel like you could go a minute or two, but it just feels like how I would play The Last of Us. It's like, okay, cool. I played a buck and a half today, or you know what I mean.
I noticed severe lack of trip mines.
So good. The call-outs were just like, she got Steve.
If it was me playing The Last of Us, it would be a lot more trip mines. A lot more explosions.
I think the first two episodes had worse pacing, but it got better.
Yeah.
I do like how they pretty much wrote the zombies out of it. They're just like a plot device for certain parts of this episodes, but they don't like focus on it, which is great because everybody's sick of zombie shit. I know. I
kind of implied it in the first episode where they're just like you can't get bitten, but you can still get ripped apart. So they're just like they need to do it in certain situations because it's implied. But I'm so glad, like you had said, it's not just like half the episode of them, because they did that one episode where they're sneaking around the clickers. I'm like, I swear to fucking God, if this is how the entire show is going to be.
All right, guys, I have an idea for the next game they should make into a show.
All right, I hear you out.
Are you with me here?
I'm following you.
Gears of War.
Yes.
It's like kind of the same thing. No, I'm not joking. I was playing Gears of War 2. I'm like, you know what? This will make an okay show.
It's fucking be cool. Yeah, agreed. They're doing a Call of Duty show, which bums me out.
What is it? Just Saving Private Ryan? What the fuck is Call of Duty?
They're signing up. Amazon just got the rights to Call of Duty, and they're getting Henry Cavill. Because I think they're basically just going to sign him up for every project forever because he's doing that Warhammer show too.
I do want to see that Warhammer show. I want to see how bad it is.
I can't wait till Space Marine comes out. That game is like going to be fucking awesome.
That game I got, I want to say, for like $3. And then when they announced the second one coming out, what was that, last year? It went up to $40. It's like they knew, because they did that remaster of it, I think. They put like an HD version out, like an HDer version. $40. Like this game, if you owned the previous version, it automatically updates to the HD version. So it's just funny how there's like these $2 keys just jacked up to $40 out of nowhere.
You need to go install The Witcher again and play with the HD textures, because that game's a lot of fun to explore. Witcher 3.
Witcher 3. I still haven't played Witcher 3.
It's really like it's probably one of the best lived-in environments. There's so much shit to do. The combat and it's fun. If you just put it on medium, you don't have to worry about doing the bullshit where you're just like, I'm gonna coat my hand. If you want to go hard mode, you can go and do the thing where you have to go hunt the thing, and then, or you can just play it like Zelda. And I think it was like either normal or easy, and it's just so fucking good.
How much crafting is in it?
Not much.
Not much. Just to do potions and some healing stuff, but
Okay.
It's one of those games where with my attention span, I'm either going to go an hour into it and never play it again, which is pretty much where I'm at now, or I'll get way into it and play nothing else for like a month. So it's because I know that game is massive.
I played Gwent for 7 hours, and my roommate came home from work one day. He's like, there's the rest of the game. I'm like, you mean Gwent, the trading card tournaments?
What is this, Final Fantasy VIII?
Oh, fucking Gwent is so good.
What do you mean? This isn't Triple Triad?
And you can go town to town and challenge people, and they're just like, oh, Witcher, we don't fucking like you. I'm just like, would you like to play some Gwent?
Begrudgingly, yes.
And like the whole part of it is it's so nice because The Witcher, if you haven't played it, it's just like basically this dude who hunts big ass demons, but everyone hates him because he does magic, so they're like always intemperate, like they don't like it, very against The Witcher showing up to do his shit. So you can always be like the dickhead. It's just like, well, fuck you. I'm just gonna let this dragon eat your town. They're like, no, come back. We need your fucking help.
Was this the first episode of Slayers?
Oh, it's so good. Fuck on a unicorn or a Pegasus.
Which is it? Or both?
Pegasus, probably both actually.
That's pretty much what I got for news. I think we've talked about enough news.
News is over. Oh yeah, Castlevania Dead Cells came out. It's awesome.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet, but it looks really good.
Yeah, that's
that,
what I'm at with that.
Deathloop game. I don't know if I like it.
What game? Dead Cells?
Deathloop.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that. You were on the fence if you're like, is this a good game?
I don't know. The combat's way too easy. But like you can play it and you can turn on like online on, and then like someone will like just jump in your game and like kill you.
Yeah.
It's super weird. It's super weird. I guess it's supposed to add challenge or whatever. But if you don't play it that way, the game's like ridiculously easy, and then I don't know if I want to.
Oh, because you're not really being hunted.
Well, you are, but it's AI.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
you can, like clear out the AI.
And it's super easy to kill people. There's not enough guns. I don't know. It's just weird, and it's not as much of an adventure game as I'd want it to be for its story. I don't know. You're just kind of like search for documents and stuff after you kill everyone.
Yeah. I played that game for a bit, but it's the same thing with every Arcane game where I just don't like how it feels. I don't like how they make first-person shooters. I don't know how to describe it. Like, Dishonored is the same thing. It's something about how it controls, how it looks, and how your actual guns like play. I just do not like them. It's just
it feels
weird,
nice on the PS5 controller, though.
Yeah, you and your PS5. First-person shooter on a console. What is wrong with you?
That was the thing I did like. So, Tory, you've played quite a few PS5 games at this point, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. How many PS5 games are there?
Do all the games do textures like Ratchet and Clank did, or has that like been a left out feature? Have you noticed when like? Because I thought that was one of my favorite parts of Ratchet and Clank was like the moving between the different textures and the sound coming out of the controller and the feels.
Oh yeah.
That part was so cool. The metal, like it felt like fucking metal. I enjoy that feature a lot more than I was expecting, like the tightening of the pieces of the controller and shit.
Oh yeah, the springs and stuff. That's the reason to own a PS5. Like it's just different.
Those work on PC as well.
No, they don't, do they?
Some games will support it, yeah.
Oh my god, those I watched a video on how those controllers are made, and it's just so fucking fascinating.
Isn't it just
rubber it's like
a
double spring, like gears or something? It's like really something else. Because then, like when the controller's off, there's no resistance to it. But that, you know what I mean? Like it's just weird. I was like, I gave it to Taylor came over, and I can't remember what game it was. It was a first-person shooter, and I'm like, yeah, here, and like shoot the gun, and he's like, what? It's kind of like tight. I'm like, yeah, isn't that cool? He didn't understand, and then I'm like, wait a minute, and I turned it off, and he's like, wait a minute, there's no resistance, you know?
Yeah.
It's just, it's not. It's I don't know. It's something else.
I always disabled it. Didn't like it.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the best fucking part of the controller.
Wasn't a fan.
Oh my god, that is like the best thing in controllers in the last fucking 10 years.
It's really cool. Is like what's the New Horizon game when you're like you using the bow, it like tightens
Oh
up.
yeah.
Just they can get really imaginative with it, which is kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
I was just
And
worried that'd be one of those things that came out in like the first 4 PS5 games, and then they're just like, fuck it, we're not. Kind of like the what was that thing you put on the top of the PC for? I'm not your TV for the Xbox. What was
Next.
the camera? Connect. Oh, what a fucking thing.
What a thing.
I don't know. I wish they went through older games like God of War and stuff like that. I'm sure all of the PS Plus exclusives
Sony should
or
stop worrying about the
PlayStation
controller.
exclusives.
Stop worrying about making games. That's right. Sony. Gloves are off. Let's go.
I mean, what does Xbox have to offer? Like, it's just a
Game Pass.
Everything that Obsidian makes, everything that
Yeah.
well, it's
Bethesda
just the games,
makes.
right? But I'm saying in terms of like, I feel like why would you not just get a PC at that point?
Well, Xbox is PC as well. It's not just an Xbox Series X. It's the app on your computer. It's multiple things.
But I'm saying
Yeah.
like, why would you actually get the actual console? Why do you pay money for the
Ease
console?
of use. People like to just plug
Yeah,
a thing into their TV and say, "This is how I play video games." I mean, it's a seamless bridge between that and computer. It's whatever.
So I don't have to bring my PC downstairs if I want to play something on the couch.
It turns out that even though we're in the year 2023,
what you
people
mean.
still don't understand the difference between, like, a computer is not just a thing that connects to a monitor on a desk. It's still a thing that exists. And the PC is not helping itself either. There's no easy way to use just a controller. You have to, only people who've ever given a fuck about this is Steam. They're the only ones.
Yep.
Microsoft, the people who make the Xbox app, do not have a way for you to use a controller to have your computer start up and use a controller to play an Xbox game. You cannot do it still. It is baffling.
Well, you can't boot your PC with your controller, yeah.
You can't boot your PC controller. You can't just turn it on and have it be in an interface where you can use a controller to interface with it. The only way I know how to do it is either having a computer start up and launch Steam Big Picture Mode or Dynamyte Big Picture Mode.
There is a certain level of
though?
security, though, that, yeah.
Well, security is irrelevant in this regard. If somebody makes a computer that is made to just play games, it's as secure as an Xbox is.
Would that be a BIOS thing, or would it like just could they do that with an app
What are you talking about?
to make it boot up into like a game?
You can buy computer parts that will let you boot up, turn on a computer remotely. Is that you talking about turning it on, powering it on physically, or just boot up into Windows and launch something?
Boot it up like right into launch something, or like maybe into a.
You set Steam to launch on boot, and you have it boot in Big Picture Mode as an option. You can also make anything start on boot if you put a shortcut to that program in a folder for starting up.
Yeah, there's a whole thing.
That's not too hard.
Yeah, but at that point you're already turning on. It's not something you can just do straight out of the box.
Even with setup, there's no logical way to do it. You can't do it with Xbox apps. You got to use Steam or Dynamyte. Both things not Microsoft owned. It's just weird. It's strange how they. It's not as bad as it was 10 years ago, where Xbox was like the place to play games, and Windows is like, fuck off with your games, we don't care anymore. Here's games for Windows Live. It just makes a very bad 360 interface that will fuck up the rest of the game because you can't use graphical settings and controller configurations. When you'd be playing mouse and keyboard on a game, and it'd have fixed keys, and it would still prompt up Xbox controller buttons, like press A.
God, yeah.
But you're using a keyboard. There's no controller involved. That's how bad it was back then. It's not as bad as it was then, but it's still not great. Yeah, that's
Halo 2 coming out like 5 years after fucking Halo 3.
Not only did Halo 2 come out years later, but it required you to have the disc inside the tray to launch it. I think some of the files were still on the disc, and you had to have Windows Vista. It didn't play on Windows XP. You had to use Vista. It was bizarre. Bizarre.
I was like, oh, the mediocre Halo game has a lot of requirements to play on your PC.
Yeah, I didn't really like Halo 2. People love that one. It was not for me.
It's garbage.
Didn't like it very much. It did have the dual wielding, which is pretty fun.
I traded for Def Jam's Fight for New York.
That was a smart trade because that game's worth money.
But I sold it.
Oh, that was stupid of you.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry that I didn't know 20 years from now I didn't need beer money as an adult.
I haven't sold a video game, and I sold a video game, or some of my video games at a trade show, specifically to make profit, but I have not sold any of my games other than that. It's like
I always sell games. I have no attachment to that shit. Fuck them.
Except my N64, which I got rid of for a very high price at a local shop. And I was like, I don't want this trash. You take it. And he's like, here's all this money. I'm like, yeah, okay. I will gladly take this for this trash system.
Should I hang on to Mario Galaxy 2?
It's not worth any money. It's a good game. Probably get like $20 for it.
That's what I spent for it.
So here's the thing about Mario games. They make millions of them.
Yeah.
They're not rare in any regard other than people want them. So there's a demand for them. But there's plenty of supply.
But what happens if it goes behind the vault?
What is this, Disney?
They put the Mario All-Stars, the fucking collection, behind the vault. They said you can't buy it in retail.
You say vault like it's a physical thing that exists and not just a machine they turned off to print more copies.
It's a vault, Tom. It's a fucking vault where there's people in there protecting it.
I assume if you're at the Disney headquarters, you go over to the wrong floor, like B3, just a bunch of like a bunch of those card knights from Alice in Wonderland sitting around a fucking vault with Mickey Mouse's face as like the handle. You want the Lion King on Blu-ray? You must wait 5 more years. Then we'll release it from the vault.
Oh my god, the fucking copyright rat.
It's a
copyright rat.
The copyright rat.
It's Disney's fault, man.
The copyright rat is the worst creature on the earth. And the copyright rat.
You better buy now, haha. Gorge.
Well, it's a good place to come to, huh?
If you really love our movies, you'd buy them now.
The copyright on the rat itself is about to expire.
Even with all the extensions, right? It's like 90 years now, and it's just by hitting that mark.
Yeah, like I'm sure they're gonna try to pull something.
Well, my understanding on why they make all these 3D remakes is not for the actual quality of the movies, but they wanted to protect their copyrights on those stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I hear what they're doing.
It wouldn't surprise me if that's the case. The Winnie the Pooh movie I heard wasn't very good.
It's a new Winnie the Pooh movie?
It's a horror movie.
A horror movie.
What?
Because they lost the license. Disney lost it. They lost a copyright on something. Yeah.
What? Why would they?
It went into like public domain again.
Because people dumb. Because people need to like make Valentine's Day horror movies and Christmas horror movies. It doesn't.
Yeah,
I really like Winnie the Pooh.
People can't just leave shit alone.
Yeah, that bothers me. Why is
it like Pooh and Piglet murdering people? I'm like, oh yeah, that's Mike. Our friend Mike probably really wants to see it.
I don't know. The weird, grim, dark everything was like 10 years ago. Like that shitty Power Rangers movie that people liked for some reason. That was absolutely terrible.
It's like okay, or what was the other movie that came out that was like really dark?
Yeah, like the Red Riding Hood and the Huntsman and all that shit.
Yeah.
I don't mind stuff being grimdark. Like
I don't
it
like...
has its place, but like some things don't need to be grimdark.
Yeah,
right?
like it's just taking an IP and making it that way. Like those Alice in Wonderland, Tim Burton movies that were just oddly dark for whatever reason.
Yeah,
that was okay. I liked that. I thought that was okay.
I'm sorry, you have to leave this podcast. You're not allowed back on here.
No, it was all right.
We're not like... Tim Burton apologists in here.
I don't know the last time Tim Burton has made a good movie.
Didn't he make something like a few years ago that was like one of those classic Tim Burton movies, but it was under the radar because it wasn't officially like endorsed by a big studio or something?
I don't know.
I heard murmurs of that. I haven't seen it. Whatever, if this thing even exists.
I have no clue.
Carvels, what are you playing again? You're playing Oxygen Not Included?
Oxygen Not Included. Yeah, I fucked up. This run is honestly a wash. I don't have enough food online. Everybody's starving. I goofed.
Yeah. Gotta get good, kid.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So that was kind of what Brett was playing and kind of what Tory was playing. Anything else? Anything else to talk about, guys?
Not really. I'm trying to think what else I've been playing. Hold on.
Tory's just been playing Deathloop. That's on Xbox now, right? It was past the year or something. Yeah, I got that game cheap on Steam.
Started playing the new Kirby game, Return to Dreamland. I'm really liking that.
Yeah, I like that. They did a good job with the graphic assets. It has like a weird watercolor look to it.
Yeah, I hadn't played the one on the Wii U, so this is like me legit returning to this version of the game. And I played the first few levels, and I love the one for the Nintendo. So they even did like the mini game at the end where you get to slingshot yourself into the clouds and stuff like that. So I've been really enjoying that game.
Yeah, that's a good game. It was on the Wii, the original Wii.
The Wii.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't try any of that new mode with the little wizard guy, whatever he is, but I played the first handful of levels of it, and I'm surprised it looks as nice as it does. They actually redid the style.
Oh, I also played the first 2 runs of Castlevania, the new DLC for Dead Cells. It's fucking awesome. It's a love letter to Castlevania. It's legit a fucking love letter to Castlevania.
You know, Konami's not going to do it.
On when you hit like the creatures, it does like that satisfying Castlevania like as you like you hit shit.
If you get hit, do you go oh?
You fall back. You can like you meet Richter and Alucard and all the boys like right off the bat, and it's so fucking fun. I'm probably once we leave this, I could probably stream a little bit of it and show. Does it
make that satisfying item pickup noise that you get in Castlevania 4? The
but they added, say, it's 3 bosses. You can't complete it all in one run, which is not traditional for Dead Cells. Usually, if you in the DLCs, in the previous ones, you'll go do a side quest. It will open up that biome, and you could always beat the game in one run. So you could go beat the flower level, and that would lead to the King's Chamber, or you could go beat the thing, and then it would lead to the lighthouse, or in some cases, and then either way, it would always lead to the end game. In this one, it's like a story where you're gonna help Alucard and Richter, and you have to go basically unlock Dracula. So it's pretty cool. You can move through it pretty quick. So that's the one downside, but fuck it, you can visit the castle once per run, which I thought was really cool.
Does Dracula throw a wine glass?
Not yet. I haven't seen him yet. There is like a lot of like little Easter eggs that you'll enjoy.
What is a dead cell?
A dead cell is when you're like this dude who gets spit out through like the fucking meat grinder, and when you kill the guys or the enemies, they drop cells, and a dead cell is the cell that you use to upgrade the your character. Or you could call it, there's also things called boss cells, and you get those for beating the game, and there's 6 boss cells, and that's just basically rises the difficulty. I've unlocked 3 boss cells because it's fucking insane.
That was a very long way of saying a miserable pile of secrets.
You wanted to we're talking Dead Cells, bro.
I was making a Castlevania reference.
It was a bad fucking reference. You asked about Dead Cells, so...
Yeah, it kind of... Not gonna lie.
What is?
Dude, that's how you start a question.
What is a dead cell? For a game called Dead Cells where an item is a dead cell?
Yeah, like that's a legitimate question.
Humor is lost on you, Mongos.
You can't...
deal with this.
You can't fault him for that one.
Yeah. Or try better jokes. Hey-oh!
I mean, it was not going to be a good joke. It's the dead meme. Dead Cells dead meme for Castlevania.
Hey-oh!
Yeah. Anything else? Yeah, you should play that game. It's really good.
Really great. Play Dead Cells. Play
Oh.
Fortnite. The new season starts this week.
Did you hear about the tournament that happened today?
No.
There was a tournament, but they also announced a new they released a new item. It's like a Oblivion sword, and the Oblivion sword completely threw off the balance, and people just destroyed people with it.
Oh no.
Yeah, so people were pissed. This new item fucking ruined everything. So if you ever get the sword, you win. It's like when the hammer first came out, and everyone was just getting fucking dominated by that stupid hammer. And now you know how to do it, but you know it was released as this tournament started, so it was brand new and nobody knew what the fuck it was. Good shit. I also didn't know there were official Fortnite tournaments, but here we are.
Learn something new every day.
Why don't we play official Fortnite tournaments?
It's a great question.
We're good enough.
Yeah, I'm all right. I can fort some nights.
Bye-bye. I don't know who left, but...
Somebody left?
Yeah.
Brett left.
Oh, he'll be back.
Discord went boom boom.
Yeah. Well, last time he left, it was me by myself, and I was just talking to myself for a while.
Oh my God. I had to die for a second.
Oh, okay. Welcome back.
Steve was doing an update, and it cut my volume for whatever reason.
That's cool. How about you, Corells? You been playing anything? I see you playing this auction.
I'm playing this right now, but I haven't really been gaming too much this week, unfortunately. This weekend, I played a game of Civ over the weekend. You know, it took like my entire Saturday.
Yeah, were they on 6 still?
Yeah, but 7 is in development.
I'm sure it is. Makes them a lot of money.
Yeah. So, Civ 7 is coming eventually. That's cool.
Are they making another Revolution? I like Civ Revolution.
I don't know. I don't think I played that one.
It was Civ, but for dummies like me. It was a consoleized Civilization game. They made a 2, and it was on mobile, and it wasn't as good. So they should make a third one of those. I'd appreciate it. Might actually play it.
That actually doesn't sound like the worst. That sounds like it might be pretty good, actually, even.
I'd recommend it. I don't know if there's a PC version of it, but I think they brought it to mobile. It's also on 360 and PS3. It's fun. I've been playing games. Like, I got some games. You guys ever heard of this Pokemon game? This
Pokemon
underground series that nobody's ever played except me. Well, it turns out they made 9 of them. Yeah, you heard some murmurs. That weird kid in the corner talking about his mons. And you give him the weird look, like, yeah, I'm not going to talk to that guy. What the fuck's he talking about? Well, they made a 9th one, and it came out last year. And nobody talked about it. Nobody talked about Pokemon 9. It was weird. People are like, they still make those things? Isn't that kid franchise with the kid with the hat and the little yellow guy? I'm like, yeah, not that one. I've been playing Pokemon, is what I'm trying to say.
I haven't played Pokemon.
Yeah. It's okay. It's an okay game.
Did you play 9?
No, I haven't played a Pokemon game in a long time, but I've heard it's okay.
It's I like it way more than I was expecting to like it. I played it just for the just for something to do. I put it on, like, I'll give this a shot, and then I ended up playing it for like 15 hours. And I'm not. It does something interesting. So it's your standard Pokemon. You get 6 people on your party. There's gyms, but they also do other things. So you have an option to do. There's 3 main quests in the game. There's the traditional go to the gyms. You get 8 gym badges. You go to fight the Elite Four, and you have a rival who is a battle woman who likes to get in fights and stuff. There's another branch where you help this other guy find these Titan Pokemon, which are just super big versions of known Pokemon. And there's 5 locations for that. And every time you do one of those, you have this Pokemon that you ride around like a motorcycle. And every time you do one, you get another ability. So I have 3 of them. And so far, I've gotten the ability to swim. I've gotten the ability to glide. And I can also climb up walls. I have no idea what the other 2 abilities are going to be. I don't know what else there is. But those ones I have. And there's a 3rd one where you go to these. I believe there's 5 of these as well, where they're raid battles. Is that what they call them? I'm not sure what they call them exactly, but you.
That sounds right. I mean, that just like sounds like something they would call it.
Yeah. So there's a feature in this game which actually makes this game for me. If this wasn't in the game, I probably wouldn't be playing it. But you can hit your R1 button, and when you do this, you send out your first Pokemon in your list. And it will go in the field, and it will just fuck up Pokemon around it if you tell it to. It's like, hey, Gyarados, go fuck up these Ivysaurs over here. So go in the field, and it will just like clash with them. And then either your Pokemon gets its health knocked down to like 1, and it comes back to you, or the other Pokemon get knocked out, and you get a smaller percentage of experience than you would if you just got in a normal battle with it, but you get experience nevertheless. So you just send out your Pokemon and it will just wreck shit and continuously give you experience for you and your entire party. So these places you go, there's 5 complexes. They're all like the Team Rocket of this game. I think they call Team Star. And they're all like delinquent kids from your school, and you're supposed to go like recruit them to bring them back to school or some shit. And what this is you have to go into this complex, and then you do that. You pick 3 Pokemon, and then they all go on the field, and then you have to defeat X amount of Pokemon in like 10 minutes. So you have to go around and defeat like 50 Pokemon on the field. And if you do that, you get the badge. Well, you have to do a more traditional boss battle, but that's another route you can go. So there's 3 main things you can do. I think I broke the game because when I first started, I got the first gym badge. And from that town, because they give you a map of everything and where everybody is. So you can pull up the map and it says, oh, there's a person right here. So it was very close where I was. So I was heading that direction, and there's a river. And I didn't realize that you can get that ability to cross the river. And I just jumped it, and I don't think I was supposed to. So I got over the other side of the river, and all the Pokemon over there were higher level than my current Pokemon. It was like a small amount, so I was like level 10. And the Pokemon right across the river, like level 15, level 18, so not too crazy. And then a little further up, they're like level 30. So you just do that thing where you send your Pokemon out, and you just farm the shit of all this experience points. And you go slightly further, and you start defeating the level 30 Pokemon. And I was like level 50 by the time you knew it. So I did like 1 gym, and I had like a full team of fully powered up dudes. It was, I have not had an issue in that game since. It's been, I mean, Pokemon's traditionally pretty easy, but this is like no challenge.
I mean,
sounds fun.
It is a game for children.
That's true.
I'm not going to deny that. I am aware. But I have still broken their design mold in the way they want you to play that game. There's a lot of clothing options, which is pretty fun.
I like that. I
made my girl look very hipster. It's very nice. Got like smarmy ass glasses and a little bob. It's good stuff. What else do you got in that game? They have the last Pokemon. They had giganticized Pokemon, I think, whatever they called it in that one. In this one, they have,
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, this one you have crystallized Pokemon.
Yeah, they have. I've seen them in the ads. They have like crystal knobbies on their heads, right?
Yeah, so you have that. And on the map, it will generate these are what I'm pretty sure are the official raids in this game. But you get into you find one of these crystals, you activate it. It'll give you a prompt to either connect online and have people join you, or you'll just automatically play. You can play offline. And it'll generate 3 people to play with you, and then from there, it's like 4 people against 1 big ass Pokemon. And if you beat it, you can catch it, and you also get a bunch of drops from it. So those are pretty cool. I'm very confused though, because I'll have when you look at the icon, I'll have a type. I'll say this is fighting. And you'll go there, and it'll be like a horsey. Like, well, how's this fighting? I don't understand. I haven't figured that out yet. I don't know what the fuck the symbols mean.
Is that related to like the crystalline thing? Does that change their typing?
Maybe. That might be a thing that happens. I'm not exactly sure.
Because I remember with like the Mega Evolutions, that would change their typing.
Oh yeah, it did.
Yeah, maybe. This is the first time I've played through. Like, I have not played this much of a Pokemon game since probably Black and White. I think I may have completed X, but I do not remember. And I played almost no Moon because I didn't like it. And Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield, I played a little bit of it. I played up till the first gym, I believe, and then I lost my save file, and I have never gone back to replay it. And I don't know if I can go back now since I have I'm so used to this sending Pokemon out and just fucking shit up button. I'm gonna miss it. I mean, I'm playing it on an emulator, so I don't have the performance issues people have been having. But there are some, it's a little jarring because it's very barren and everything looks the same. And the big complaint I have with the game is it doesn't have the feel of a battle, you know, like in Pokemon, the older games, you get fucking amped when you get a trainer battle or you get in a gym battle. It like, the music comes on and it's fucking throbbing it. And it's like, yeah, I want to fuck you up, and it sends like a giant ass Pokemon. This one is like, it almost has like no transitional feel to it. The music's kind of lame. It doesn't have that hype to it. It's kind of disappointing. Like you don't get pumped for it. Some of the gym battles are pretty cool. But generally, like, trainers, you find them on the field and you just talk to them to fight them. You don't have to, like, walk in their way.
That's fucking lame.
Yeah, they're this kind of remote, and they're kind of like along a path, and you just see them, you talk to them, like, hey, you want to fight? And the Pokemon gym, not the gyms, the Pokemon centers, they're outside towns, like on the outskirts of them. It's a kiosk you walk up to, and it has 3 sections. One for creating TMs. This game also does a thing where you fight wild Pokemon, and they drop things. So you'll fight a Bidoof, and you'll drop like Bidoof, or you'll fight a rock Pokemon. And it's like, oh, you drop some pebbles, and you get these. They're craftable items. You can also sell them, so there's a way to get money. That's a problem in other Pokemon games where you don't get money after fighting trainers, and you get fucked with money. But this one, you're going to sell all the shit you get from every battle. So that's something they do. So yeah, the Pokemon centers are all remote little island things, which is interesting. There's no Pokemon center in the towns. The towns are kind of boring. They're all like just squares on a big open world. It's weird. Some of them are kind of interestingly designed, but most of them are just like, here's a square with grass and some houses in it. It's a little disappointing. Not a lot of creative design in that regard. I don't know. The Spanish theme is pretty cool. I like that. It's nice. A lot of people name like Durango and shit. Weird.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. We're into that.
There was one super funny Spanish thing, and I can't remember what it was. It was El something Oyo, and it was funny. But I can't remember what it was. It's a fun game. You can throw a lot of time at it and not really realize you're using that much time, which is, I guess, good for a Pokemon game. You don't really feel it.
I've never played one before, so
I don't know. I don't know if I can recommend Pokemon because I like some of them, and
it's got to be nostalgia at this point for most people.
Yeah, it's definitely a comfort thing. I mean, it's one of the biggest media franchises on the planet, so I mean, people are familiar with what Pokemon is, and they all have their favorites, and you know, it has that going for it. It's like, oh yeah, I want to get the new game that has Pikachu in it. I love that Pikachu guy.
Yeah, I mean, really, some people just will play anything for nostalgia, like the Wizard game.
I wouldn't even say it's nostalgia as opposed to just being comfort. Like it's familiar.
Yeah, it's like comfort food. Like you expect it. It's not going to be special, but it's just going to be there. Because when I had COVID, I played it a lot.
Which one? The current one?
Yeah.
Yeah. How far did you get?
Second or third gym.
Yeah. Do you like it? Like, do you like how they kind of made it open world? You can kind of do whatever you want.
I did, but I didn't like it. I got to the point where the uniform. I didn't like that. I felt the uniform was kind of limited for the male characters.
There is. I felt like I looked. There's a paid DLC. No matter what I did. Yeah, kind of. There's a paid DLC that gives you another set, and I like the other set more than the default set. And I found out if you hit left on the D-pad, you can change your gear because I had no idea how to do it. So I kept buying new things to replace my current clothing because I didn't know how to change what I already owned. You hit left on the D-pad. It just pops right up. I thought that was funny. Yeah, Pokemon. I'm surprised I am enjoying it as much as I am. I'm probably going to complete it. I'm probably going to play after this podcast, and by next weekend I'll hopefully be done with it and move on to something else. I know Soul played through the entirety of Arceus in like a month. Not even. I lost my Arceus save file too, so I didn't go back to playing that.
No.
I wasn't too far into it, but those Pokemon openings are so fucking tedious. They're rough. Nintendo at you. Those beginnings, man. It's like when you start a new Mario game nowadays and they have that fucking long intro you can't skip, like the new Super Mario Bros. Games where it has a stupid scene where Peach gets kidnapped and you can't skip it for some fucking reason. You don't need to see that. Let me skip it.
You know, when I put in Galaxy 2 today actually, and it was like I just wanted to play the first level. I'm like, nah, I don't want to play the first level anymore because it's so like
it takes so long to get there. It's fucking nuts. Is it Galaxy 1 or 2 that has you walking to the castle? At night. One. Yeah. I've seen that opening so many times. I used to test the emulator, Dolphin, for that game back when it was like new. And I played that opening scene like no less than 10 times, and it was rough. Like, yes, we get it. Let me do the Mario
games
thing.
Need to have like a skip intro feature.
Let me get to the game feature.
Yeah.
Do you know when you start Mario Brothers on the NES and you turn it on and you hit start and you're just in the first level and you're going? Yeah. I like being that guy who says, remember old games? Didn't have updates or anything, but, you know, there are some things about modern games that are very frustrating.
Yeah, there are.
Especially when you have a attention span like myself. What else did I play?
Games should have more cold opens. Movies have cold opens. Why can't games have cold opens?
This podcast is cold open.
Podcast is
just get right to it. Just get right to it. You know.
I mean, there's nothing to get to on this podcast, so you get all the flavor, all points of the show. It's consistently inconsistent.
Consistently inconsistent. I love it.
Never know what you're gonna get. I got another VR game, Synth Rider? Is that the name of it? It's a lot like what's that game where you smack shit? Beat Saber. Beat Saber updated again and broke all my mods, so I said fuck this game again. So me and Beat Saber are not talking right now. I really wish Steam would stop auto-updating my fucking games, because it's getting really fucking old, because there's nothing Beat Saber needs to do to update. I might just pirate a copy that's like known to work and just leave it in a folder, and this is my good folder for Beat Saber, and they can't fuck with it anymore, because they keep breaking my fucking mods. It's so annoying. It's like then you're stuck playing the PlayStation version, where you have like 3 fucking song packs that all suck. Fuck that shit. Anyway, they broke my Beat Saber, so I got this other rhythm game called, I'm pretty sure it's called Synth Riders. And it's very similar to the concept of Beat Saber, but you have like your 2 hands are like mitts, like these spherical mitts. And there's 2 color balls. And you kind of just like, feel around for them. You don't have to like, I don't think you got to smack them. I think you just kind of feel for them, and then you can combine both your hands together to make a different color. And then it's what you think it is. You just follow the path and you wave your hands, and sometimes it's a long hold and you got to follow the trail, or you swing at little beats like Beat Saber would have you do. And they had a Gorillaz music pack, so I was like, oh, okay, I'll get this. The new Gorillaz album dropped, by the way. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, fuck you, it was pretty good. I was a fan.
I mean, I didn't dislike it. I just like they've done better.
What was better?
Damn, throwing down. Let's go.
I'm just curious what the high tier is for you.
I mean, I really like Plastic Beach.
Plastic Beach is half good. Half of it's trash, but half of it's really good.
I like Plastic Beach.
Demon
Days, of course,
Demon Days
I really like D-Sides though. D-Sides is wild.
Yeah. D-Sides is weird.
D-Sides is wild. I love D-Sides.
It has Rocket. That's like the song it has, and the rest of it's like
it's
what?
Got Murdoch as God.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird shit on there. All the other sides are weird.
Yeah, I really like D-Sides.
Yeah,
it's got that weird remix of Kids with Guns.
Yeah,
yeah. The British guy.
There's a lot of those.
Yeah, there's a British guy in one of them.
They have a few of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Plastic Beach is half really good and half really bad. Sweepstakes is a nightmare song, and
Sweepstakes. Oh, I love Sweepstakes.
It's so bad.
It's so good. Get out of here. Sweepstakes is goated.
I disagree with you happily.
Good song.
Sweepstakes
is good. I don't give a fuck what you think either, buddy.
He said Demon Days is like a perfect album. That's like the best Gorillaz album there is, but
my roommate just heard me say that as he was walking by, and he looked in and shook his head at me. Yeah. I like Sweepstakes. Fuck y'all.
It's a bad song. Like I don't understand Glitter Freeze.
Sweepstakes.
It's like a bad version of Double Bass. I don't get it and why it's popular and why they play it at all the concerts. Like this song is not very good.
Which one?
A Glitter Freeze.
I like Glitter Freeze.
It's perfectly fine. It's a perfectly fine like background song. It's not a good solid song. You know what I mean? It's like a Daft Punk album that isn't Discovery, where it's only good if you remix it or put it with something. But on its own, you don't listen to it. That's how I feel about a good quarter, at least a quarter of that album is bad, like bad music, and then another quarter is boring by itself, and then the half of it is good.
I think you
like Empire Ants.
Dropping some bad takes. Empire Ants is great.
Fantastic song.
Glitter Freeze is great.
Broken,
What's
great
the,
song.
Pirate Bay, or which is the one that
Pirate
was
Jet.
only on the Pirate Jet? No,
Yeah.
There's one that's like, is that the secret track?
Yeah.
It was like only on the exclusive. Yeah, that one's pretty good too.
Yeah, another one that's not great on its own.
I don't know. I like it.
Yeah.
Whatever. Get out of here. Humans is good. Humans is really good.
Humans.
Bel Air's really good.
Oh, Humans, the last like big studio one that had pretty much no
Yeah.
Allburn in it. It was all guest stars. That one, okay, my history with that album is when it came out was the first time I was driving back from Seattle to Boston. And I had no reception through 80% of the states because, you know, Montana is 80% of this country.
Yep.
So I only
Iowa.
Iowa had stuff and there's reception there. That I had only that one album in my car. So I heard that album
Oh no.
30 times.
Yeah, that'll ruin anything for you though.
So I don't hate it, but I have very distinct memories of that album and how I know the lyrics to every one of the songs. It's just like a thing that's like ingrained in my brain and it's just forever there. It's a good album. I wish I had more involvement with Auburn and he has like 2 songs where he's actually in it. A lot of guest music, and that's okay for. I thought Song Machine did it way better with the guest tracks.
I haven't listened to enough of Song Machine.
Song Machine's really good.
Have an opinion about it, but
I
like what I've heard.
Yeah, the Now is a good album too. A lot simpler.
Yeah, there's some good stuff on the Now, but I haven't. It's not. I mean, I've listened to it. I think I even considered picking it up, but like, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's not my favorite.
I didn't listen to the Now right away because I thought it was going to be another one of The Fall, and The Fall was terrible.
The Fall is okay. The Fall has some good stuff on it.
It has Revolving Doors. That's a great song. I think Revolving Doors is legitimately a great track.
Well, the rest look at the list. There's something else on there.
There's one of them that's kind of like a little kind of like an acoustic, very low, like a very mellow song that's really good. I like that one, but the rest of it is like awful.
Little Pink Plastic Bags.
I don't know which one I'm thinking of.
Little Pink Plastic Bags is good.
But like
I kind of like this one too.
I don't like that one. It's like a few, like 2 tracks I'd pull from it and say, put this with another album, but the rest of it, like the selling point of that was like, I made
Bobby
it all.
and Enix is good with Bobby Wambach on it. Yeah. I don't know.
The selling point of that album for him was, I made this on my iPad during a tour. I was like, yeah, you did. You can really tell. Because it mostly sucks. I can make music on my iPad. I'm Damon Albarn. This is what I sound like.
I mean, like, whatever. He has fun, dude.
Did you see the documentary that just came out? Where he's showing the guy interviewing him his studio, and he's showing him all of his instruments, and he shows him his synthesizer.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
He's like, yo, bro, check this out. And he plays like the pre-recorded track in the synthesizer, and it's the fucking riff from fucking Clint Eastwood. It's just built into the fucking synthesizer. He's like, check this shit out. The guy's like, this is it? He's like, this is it, bro. This is how I made that song. You just played this fucking thing. It was the funniest fucking thing. It's like, oh yeah, it's no big deal. I just took this from an auto play track on a fucking synthesizer.
Yeah, and it's like insane. One of the most like recognized songs.
Yeah, I thought that was the funniest fucking thing. Like he just says like nonchalant, like it's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
What's the big deal, guys?
I guess not. It's just funny. Like the iconic Gorillaz song is just fucking pulled from a fucking synthesizer. It's too fucking good. Too fucking funny.
What's funny too is those riffs are like so throwaway, like on the presets and stuff. Like you'd wonder even if like the person who wrote it would have remembered that he had wrote it or something.
Yeah. That's too good. What else have I played? I think we're talking about video games at one point. I got my Gorillaz songs in my synth writer. That was a good time. I enjoyed that. I bought a game called Pizza Tower, and I haven't played it yet, but people say it's good, and it looks a lot like Wario Land, and that's exciting because I like Wario Land, and that was a good game.
Yeah, everybody's talking about this Pizza Tower.
Good.
I was considering checking it out.
What is it on? How
much was it?
It's like $10. Not too expensive.
Not bad.
10, 15. I had a 8 terabyte hard drive where I put all of my Steam games on, and it died on me. So I haven't installed any games since it died. I think it was going to replace it with a 2 terabyte SSD because I don't need 8 terabytes of games at any given time. Because that's what crazy people do. Unless it's my emulator archive that is bigger than I'd like to admit. But yeah, Steam. You just download a Steam game. It's not a problem. So I'm probably going to get I think it's time to move to an SSD permanently for games, because right now I have all my multiplayer games like your Siege and your Fortnite. I have those all on SSDs, but everything else is on a mechanical. The only problem is with that is that the direct drive access is coming out for Windows 11. So it's going to be like the PS5 in terms of being able to load shit like really super fucking fast. I don't know if I should just wait for that to happen.
Ooh, excuse me.
The pizza game's $20 on Steam.
$20? All right. That's your call. If you think it's worth $20. If you like Wario Land, I guess it's worth it. People like that game a lot. I will play it once I'm done with this Pokemon thing, because I'm stuck on Pokemon.
Those are all Game Boy games, right? Wario Land?
Yeah, Wario Land. There was a Wario World for the GameCube. That was more of a 3D game, but the 2D games were all on Game Boy Color / Game Boy Advance, and there was one on the Wii called Master of Disguise, which to my understanding everybody hates, and I remember absolutely nothing of, so I cannot say if it's good or bad. I know I've played it. I own that game, but I don't remember anything about it other than it looked kind of cool. And there was another one.
What's it called? The Wii one?
Master of Disguise. There's also one called like, what was the other one called? There was another 2D one. I think it was on the Wii as well. It was like Treasure Master or Shake It? Was Shake It a game?
WarioWare Shake It sounds like a thing.
That was WarioWare Smooth Moves was on the Wii.
Wario Land Shake It.
Yes. That was on the Wii?
Yes.
That game was good. That was also 2D. But the one I'm thinking of that people don't like, and I have no opinion on, is called Master of Disguise. Yeah. Most of the Wario games are good.
Maybe I'll download that Shake It game.
Which game?
Or buy it legally or whatever. I don't know.
I mean, download can mean anything. I just assume you're stealing it because you're Tory, but...
how would I even know how to do that, Tom?
I don't know. You got some bad influences in your life. I didn't mod your 360
some really
for you.
Great influences.
I totally did flash your 360 disk drive. What are you talking about? That wasn't me. What else have I been playing? Where's my little cheat sheet here? Because I had like games I want to talk about, and I forgot what all of them were because I'm bad at doing my job here. Hey, so what did I play? Help me out here.
Well, I don't know what you played, man. I barely know what I played.
I was asking chat. Apparently I was playing my mom. That's very rude.
Haha, I knew it. I fucking knew it.
A rude thing to say. This last week and a half, I've been recording games, like 10 minutes of a game running in an emulator. Just like, this is what this version of the emulator looks like for this kind of game. And I've been doing that every day, and that's kind of cathartic. I like it a lot, so I'll probably keep doing that. For whatever reason, my most viewed video, by a lot, is Mario plus Rabbids for the Switch. I don't know why. I did Gears of War running on the 360 emulator. I did Breath of the Wild running at 120 on at 4K on the Wii U emulator. I did Pokemon running for a while, but my most viewed video is Mario Rabbids. I cannot explain it. I don't understand algorithms in YouTube. Strange. Very strange. I've been playing a lot of that shit too. I played Phantasy Star last week, I think. I already talked about Phantasy Star. But that's a really good... The Switch version of that game is really good. If you ever want to play the original Phantasy Star game. If I remember anything else, I'll talk about it next week. Who cares? Who cares?
The Switch version of Phantasy Star?
Phantasy Star 1. It's a Sega Ages game, so it is the Sega Master System game. That is... they've done some quality of life improvements to it. And it also has a... on the side of the screen, it has a map that will generate while you walk through a dungeon. Because the dungeons are all first person, and there's no map in the original game. Nor is there one... Because they remade that game on the PS2. That had... it was redesigned. It was a remake. It was a 2D remake of Phantasy Star 1. That wasn't like a crazy elaborate remake. It was just like a pretty low budget, quiet remake. But it was a massive improvement on the game. Had really nice animations. The story made more sense. The money made more sense. Like the shops worked better. It was just a better game, but it didn't have a mini map either. So you're still walking through dungeons and kind of getting lost and backtracking 1,000 times. But this version goes back to the Master System original, but also has that mini-map. And that mini-map really, really breaks that game. So I recommend the Switch version of that. Or if you have, you know, like a map handy, like you can pull up a web page and look at a map on like your computer, play the PS2 version. They also remade the second game on the PS2 as well, and that game is in first person. That is standard JRPG. You know, like your Chrono Trigger or your Final Fantasy. Did you guys hear about this thing about JRPG? Yoshi P, the director for Final Fantasy 16 / Final Fantasy 14, said how they always felt like JRPG was like derogatory against Japanese people.
Really?
Yeah. It was like a negative connotation because they're like, apparently there was this era where people said JRPGs were trashy games, and it was like the 360 era, which I don't know why they would have said it was then, because I know a lot of people playing Call of Duty, and this is when all the bro dudes started playing video games.
Yeah, I was like, there wasn't many out. I don't think anyone was saying they were trash, though. Yeah,
so apparently it was offensive because if they felt like they were making an inferior product because nobody liked it, and it was just made fun of all the time. But then I raised that with, it's not, because JRPG just means Japanese style RPG game. It's all it means. And it's not inherently derogatory. It just, they make different style games than the Western audience does. So it has valid reason to exist because they are not like other, it's not like fucking Baldur's Gate, you know? It's it's not like Mass Effect. They make a different kind of game. So it makes sense. But at that era there was a specific time frame where towards the end of the PS3, JRPGs got so generically trashy where they are all 2D sprite based or very shoddy 3D, and all of the talking was done via a text box that would come up and drawn character portraits that would have like 2 frames. So it'd be one of them like standing there talking, then they have the generic looking sad bubble and shit. And there were hundreds of these. There were so many of these fucking games. And
they even came out with like RPG Maker, right?
That's what else at Super Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
But these
you also had the games that were like notoriously 50 to 60 hour games for no reason.
Yeah, that was like PS2 era, because before then they were much shorter. Super Nintendo to like PS1, with your exception of your Tales, 18 hours at most. It's short. It's a short game.
I know Final Fantasy 2 I remember being so much longer as a kid, and then you're like, oh wait, this isn't that long.
Final Fantasy 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a very long game either. None of them are very long. They take like 20 hours to complete. Nowadays, you play a Tales game and they're fucking 80 hours. Persona, for fuck's sake. Like, goddamn.
Xenosaga?
I played Xenosaga 2.
Yeah.
I played Xenosaga 2 today for the emulator thing. That was the one I did today was Xenosaga 2. And playing that game brought so many memories of being so upset with bad game design. Because all Xenoblade does is talk, Xenosaga, all it does is talk and add stupid made-up terms and add stupid anime story to it, and there's zero gameplay. It's awful.
But it's a super underrated series that people need to appreciate more.
No, Xenoblade is the current series that people like for some reason, even though they're trashy anime games. But the combat in those games is so fucking slow. It's like they play like MMOs, where they have cooldowns, and you use standing on a field, doing bad auto attacks, waiting for these cooldowns to happen. And I don't understand. They can make this combat not suck. Like Final Fantasy 12 has combat that doesn't suck. Last Story had combat that didn't suck. I don't know why this game is what took off, because it's fucking bad. Bad.
They're doing a panel for at PAX this year for the appreciation of that series. I'm like, whoa.
It's so bad. They're long. The second one had gotcha waifus. The third one doesn't, thankfully. So it has that going for it. But yeah, fuck those games, man. Fuck them. Bad. But yeah, what's your guys' opinion on the term JRPG? Do you think you should stop using it? Do you think it's derogatory?
No, I think it's just the style of that time period.
Which time period are you talking?
Like Super Nintendo era through PlayStation. I think you could still use it. It's just
I'm not gonna stop using it.
I'm not either. I don't.
It's the outrage of the week, and I'm curious what people think about it, because I think it's overblown.
I think it's silly because I think it's the genre of that RPG style.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the big deal?
Those PS3 games, though. That was a bad era for JRPGs.
Oh, that was a bad time period.
Yeah. I think
That was the dark days.
I think my favorite JRPGs of the era were all on the Wii, which was like the PS2 in terms of, you know, that generation, because you had the 360 and the PS3. Can't name that many good JRPGs on those systems. There's a few, but not a lot. Like Lost Odyssey is good. It depends how you feel about Blue Dragon.
Yeah, it's a weird one on people's charts, what they think about it.
Yeah, Star Ocean
Either loved
4.
it or... Ugh.
Star Ocean 5 was good. 4, man, that was a weird game.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm done talking.
Yeah, I might get going because.
Yeah, I think we hit a lot of topics tonight.
I just got me ranted about stuff. That's what this podcast is. Tom ranted shit.
Minus the Gorillaz talk, I was on that, and then I was just like, I don't listen to them enough, and I feel like I should now.
It's a great band. It's the only band that I actually like actively care about. Like, where I'll follow a lot of bands I like. I'll just like see they release an album. Like, oh, this came out 2 years ago. When the fuck did that happen? But Gorillaz is like the only band I actually like follow and like, oh, they have a new song. I'm gonna listen to it.
Go give them a listen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get me out of my punk folk face.
Fuck you.
Ah, you had so much fun.
You don't know what like the level of getting me out to go see that was. Like,
oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
You better appreciate it.
I did. I said multiple times.
I don't know, man. There's too many people. There's a lot of washboard.
Too many people. Yeah, for that room was tiny.
You had the obligatory person on ukulele.
When they went to the middle of the floor and I couldn't hear what they're saying anymore, I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah. The opening band was pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet.
All right. Not bad.
Well, everyone, thank you for coming.
Yeah,
we were Tiny Dynamyte. This was Digital Deliberations. Until next week.
Every week. I mean, it's not really a joke anymore because we actually do it every week now.
We do every week.
It's
every week.
It's just consistent.
Every week.
The day has been a little inconsistent as of late.
The day might change from time to time.
But still, every once a week you'll get a podcast.
But it's once a week. At least.
All right.
Sometimes twice because we feel bad.
Now with this new job happening, I might have to start doing these on like Sunday nights or something.
Oh no! Sundays! Because
weekdays I'll be tired. Friday I want to unwind from working all week. Saturday you want to have that one day where the day before it and the night afterwards are all both open. You can sleep through a Saturday and be fine until Sunday, but you can't do that on a Sunday anyway because you have to get ready for work on Monday. So Sunday night's probably the best time to do it.
I'm down. You got me, homie.
One of these real people jobs. I gotta leave my house. What the fuck?
That's gross.
Yeah, I know.
I left my house today, but it was because I had to go buy a headset. Then I went home.
I went and got a bag of chips and a drink.
And 8 Arby's.
Still recording?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me stop that. Let me stop recording. Yeah, see you next week.
Yeah.
I gotta find the stop recording button. Craig, get the fuck out of here. Love you, Craig. You're a good guy.